It's the season to be jolly once again. Let's reimagine 3 pop culture sharks with speculative biology. Hey everyone, and welcome to our second ever Shark Week episode. Just like last time, we will be grabbing some cool sharkos from movies, video games, and more, and give them our style of Spec Evo reimagining. So strap in and get ready for some fun in the sun. Please like, hype and subscribe so our channel avoids the jaws of oblivion. And now, without further ado, let's get started! Let's begin with the cutest of them all, Jeff the Land Shark, the sensation from Marvel Rivals. I guess? Is that game still a thing? Anyhow, in the audio material Jeff is an artificial creation, but you know what I be like. I'm making them natural. Epaulette Shark time! Land Sharks, or Terrasqualos Jeffy, so called in honor of Dr. Jeff, a former member of our staff who was sadly taken from us by one of these organisms, evolved from the ancestors of epaulette sharks, relatives of similar organisms, such as sand sharks. The ancestors of land sharks were much more predatory, as evidenced by the pseudo-dental plate formed from the jaw, and began their road towards land by hunting increasingly more terrestrial prey, including roosting birds and small mammals. As the pectoral and pelvic fins became more and more important in land locomotion, the muscle inside them became stronger and pillar-like, turning these fins into leg-like appendages. This had the double function of improving land mobility and separating the soft belly of the shark from the sand, which can easily scrape their skin, as it is coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. Most of the cartilage extensions of the fins, no longer needed to give them their rigid shape, became part of a pseudoskeleton, with the ones that remained extending towards the end of the fin, forming small gripping ends that help the land sharks gain traction and hold onto the terrain. As these sharks evolved a tetrapodal stance and ventured into this new environment, they also developed a respiratory system capable of extracting oxygen from the air, increasing the duration of their incursions into land until they no longer needed to return to the water. More specifically, land sharks have a highly vascularized muscle derived from the insides of the mouth, which will be extruded regularly to let the shark breathe. This pinkish muscle has, understandably, been confused with a tongue by many people, an organ that sharks do not actually have. Indeed, a land shark in the process of taking in oxygen will look rather similar to a panting dog, and this has greatly endeared them to the population at large. As it would turn out, their great intelligence and social behavior does indeed make them amazing pets, as they respond well to socialization with humans and are capable of being trained extensively. Unfortunately, ruthless people, like the organization known as AIM, have also trained such animals to be used as attack dogs. Our center is part of the constant efforts to rescue these poor animals and rehabilitate them before they can be sent to a good home. Well, that was fun. Let's continue on the semi-theme of video games with Duke Fishron, from the popular video game Terraria. Despite looking like a pig, dragon, mutant thing, they can shoot sharks, and are horrifying predators of the seas. Spiritual sharks, if you will. Come on, have a little whimsy. Megascorpiena horribilis are marine predators related to the scorpionfish, usually found in relatively shallow waters, especially around reefs, where prey is most abundant. The largest males of the species are usually called dukes, not as a formal scientific nomenclature, but as a more colloquial designation used by sailors and fishermen. A duke fishron is among the most dangerous predators in their ecosystem, causing other predators, including even large species of shark, to escape en masse at their presence, among which we can count the very next examples in this video. Even predators larger than the fishron are not safe from them, as Fishron will ram potential competitors with their full weight and slash them with their sharp teeth. The denticles on their scales Sharp projections that decrease drag and turbulence as they swim can cause painful scrapes on their skin. Despite its large size and powerful jaws, which would seemingly make it very easy for the Fishron to approach and bite into anything it likes, the hunting tactics of this animal are surprisingly sophisticated. Fishron, like most fish, are capable of producing slime throughout their bodies, and have weaponized this normally defensive tool. This fish species will shoot small globes of this slime from their mouth, stunning, or even, if they manage to hit the gills, causing their prey to suffocate, preventing it from escaping or defending itself as the Fishron approaches to devour it. And while most predators would abandon the hunt after losing the element of surprise, Fishron take advantage of their massive speed and large fins to regain it in a matter of seconds. Whenever this predator has been detected by their prey, they will swoop down onto the seafloor, lifting the substrate with their fins to create a sand cloud that obscures their movements, allowing them to reposition themselves before striking again. So, with 2 down, why don't we go for the real big boy of the episode? Sharknado! A natural phenomenon from a B-movie about a tornado throwing a bunch of sharks at people. But it wouldn't be fun if we just left it at that, would it? No, we're making the Sharknado part of their life cycles. These sharks present a physical anatomy somewhat convergent with that of the gauss, owing to their similar lifestyles. The evolution of Carcharoptera and Hemopoietes began when their ancestors leapt out of the water to capture aerial prey, and as a result of this tendency have developed wide, concave pectoral, pelvic and tail fins, which allow them to catch wind currents when in the air, increasing their ability to maneuver and chase prey more effectively. As they adapted into this lifestyle, they developed a moderately sized flotation sac that uses the byproducts of respiration and digestion to lower their mass, thus enabling them to stay aloft for longer. They do, however, remain as aquatic animals, and still need to return to the water after a hunt. The most fascinating part of this shark's behavior is the formation of feeding frenzies, which will see these sharks leap out of the water and into the air, where they will begin flying in increasingly tighter circles, rising as they do so, until they form tall columns of pure spinning shark. While they do this, the air will flow through the specialized funnel-shaped denticles on their skin. In the outside of the circle, these air currents will dissipate harmlessly, but inside the frenzy they will keep flowing and gaining strength until they form what is, in essence, biogenic tornadoes that trap prey inside it, from surface swimming fish to birds that approach the formation too much, allowing all sharks within the tornado to feed. This idea, by the way, was inspired by Transapiens' awesome work on Skull Island creatures. Check their DeviantArt if you have a chance. These deadly formations are, however, not only used to hunt. Once mating season arrives, female sharks will begin these formations, scientifically termed Sharknadoes, to test the mettle of the males wishing to mate. Those who are too young or too old, or otherwise weak and incapable of keeping the pace, will be shot out of the formation by the wind currents, taking them out of the competition. That's right, when a Sharknado rolls into town and a shark bites at you, that is one of the losers. You don't even get a winning shark. And that's it for Speculative Biology look into 3 more sharks from pop culture. And man, wasn't that fun? Sharks are always fun little animals to speculate on. And yes, like last time, not all of our sharks ended up being sharks. But I don't think that's a big issue. After all, sharks in media and sharks in real life are very different animals. Vicious, bloodthirsty monsters in one, and beautiful creatures that want nothing more than to live their lives in the other. And in the end, aren't the real sharks the friends we made along the way? Plus, this month's sharkiness is not quite over yet, so if you still have a tooth for some shark-related videos, stay posted for that. As per usual, big thanks to everyone who wanted even more sharks to show up on our videos. I hope y'all had fun with this one. And slightly bigger thanks to our researchers and research associates who support us through Patreon and YouTube memberships, and who voted for the sharks you saw today in one of our polls. Remember, you too can join in if you want to support our channel. And you get some nice perks too, like seeing all of our creatures and videos ahead of time and helping mold them into shape, or even vote for some future episodes. Or you can also like, subscribe, or write a comment telling me any type of creature you would like me to give the Spec Evo treatment in the show. Any of those really help the channel a lot. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time on the Speculative Wildlife Research Center.